Hello and welcome to the Elite YGO. My name is Reese and today we have a very special video. I know I say that about every video because all my videos are special. Let's be real here. We are doing a Dogmatika Salamangreat collab. Now, Dogmatika are a fantastic deck. In fact, one of my favorite engines of all time. But you know what else is one of my favorite things of all time? Salamangreat. Salamangreat I have been playing since before release. I've been playtesting it since it was on EDO Pro, or maybe it was YGO Pro back then. Irrelevant. That deck is one of my favorite decks of all time. I have refused to give it up, and I still refuse to give it up, no matter how many hits it takes. But truth be told, I do believe that you can probably bring back Stalio, or you can probably bring back Circle to 2, and the deck will still be fine. I just don't think it's as powerful as people remember it. It's not as powerful as it once was. Decks are just so out of control right now that I think they deserve a bit of a buff. But that could just be me being a bit of a simp for Salamangreat. But without further ado, let's get on with the deck profile. Alrighty, so let's start with the deck profile. Like I said before, we're going to start with the monsters, obviously, because, you know, that's the standard practice of Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profiles. But anyway, let's get on with it. So we play 2 Debug. Excuse the glare, I'm trying my best here. Debug is obviously just a standard card, but we also play a 2 format skipper because, well, the main reason is this card likes to search Parallel Exceed. And do you know why Parallel Exceed is pretty good? Well, let me tell you. To go watch my Magical Musketeer deck profile. Shameless plug right there, I'll leave it in the description. But Parallel Exceed allows you to do your full Dogmatika combo with Maximus without your opponent gaining any kind of advantage off of it. So that's why I think 2 and 2 is probably the best number for the generic normal summons, because Debug will obviously get you the card, the Salamangreat you're missing, where this card will get you the Parallel Exceed for those luxurious combos. Onto the Salamangreat cards, obviously the heart and soul of the deck, we play the Gazelle because it's at 1, and I wish this was at 3, much like I wish all the Salamangreat cards were at 3, but we can't all have what we want. We play 2 Foxy, obviously, some people have cut this down to 1, actually in fact a lot of people have cut down the Salamangreats to, you know, 1 of all of them, but I think that's a bit incorrect in my opinion, but this is definitely one of the more cuttable cards in my opinion. But it's, again, a free extender almost all the time, and it also helps you out floodgates, like those Mystic Mines, or there could be only 1. Sometimes those cards do come up and you kind of want free outs to them. We just play 1 Spinny now, we've dropped it down since Stalio's banned. It's just level 3 extenders have become more or less irrelevant in the deck, so this just becomes a once-off extender when you need it. You just search it when you need it to basically link climb into any of your main nasty combos. Now, we still play the 2 Jack Jaguar. I think 2 is the correct number for this. I would never change this. This is the one card I would never change back to 1 or whatever, because it's a pretty much endless extender and it more or less helps you recycle your card. So this card is pretty broken. And then we just play the 1 Falco, because Falco is just a card that says, hey, bounce your Gazelle back to your hand and summon it for free. Helps you make Dweller because it's level 4. And basically recycles your spells and traps should the occasion arise. Now onto the Dogmatikas. We obviously play the 3. Oh, that was a really gross card slap right there. Yeah, so we play the 3 Ecclesia the Virtuous, because this card is just nuts. It's a free level 4 extender again. I mean, the way I'm talking about level 4 extenders, you'd think I'd be playing double or nothing in this deck, but I'm not, I can assure you. But her main purpose is basically searching out the 2 Fleur-de-Lis, because Fleur-de-Lis is a walking impermanence. This card's absolutely broken. Some people play 1. I think 2 is nice because it can just act as a free wall for OTKs. So that card's really nice. And to round off the Dogmatika cards, we just play the 1 Maximus. I don't think you need more than this, and deck space is tight as it is, because, well, let's be real. You're trying to, you know, maximize hand traps because Halki Firebrax is still around, and unfortunately, while that card's around, you have to get as many hand traps in the deck as possible. Which is like really bad for the game, but here we are. Maximus, really good. Also really well paired with the Abyss Dweller, as I mentioned before. Onto the honorary Salamangreat cards, Salamangreat Parallel Exceed. Because this card is so nuts, it chain blocks your cards, it's a free extender. It also has no restrictions on whether you can link with it or not, and again, becomes level 4. Because Abyss Dweller with the combo is nuts. I'm going to keep saying that, I know, but that'll probably be the last time I mention it until I get to the Abyss Dweller itself in the extra deck. But yeah, this card is just a mandatory 3 of. Yeah, like I said, helps you link climb, helps you make your really big pushes without any kind of drawback from your opponent. Onto hand traps, we obviously play the 3 Ash Blossom, because, well, not only is this one of the best hand traps in the game, and it is, it's probably not as good as Gamma and like Impermanence, but the reason we benefit off this is because adding it back off the Sunlight Wolf for literally free is just absurd. So I think 3 of this is more or less mandatory. Then we just play the 3 impermanence because, well, impermanence is impermanence. It's one of the best hand traps in the game, so you have to play it. We obviously don't play Gamma because Gamma is one of those cards where if you're forced to go first, which, you know, you want to go first, it's not even forcing you, but the issue is going first. Once you set up your board, Gamma becomes a dead card in your hand, so I'd rather play all cards that are, you know, useful going into your opponent's turn after you've gone first. So that's my logic there. We play the 1 brick and we play the 1 circle for the Salamangreat spells. Again, I wish this was at 2 or 3, but I can't have what I want. And 3 Cyanide Mining, because obviously it's, you know, next to Circle is the best searcher in the deck. Discarding a Salamangreat to search Gazelle is like really broken because it basically lets you combo without a normal summon. In case your opponent decides to like Nibiru or something, you might be able to do like a second push on that odd occasion. We also play 2 Will of the Salamangreat. The reason this card's really good is because it's a free extender. Again, like we're just trying to push for bigger boards in this deck because we just want to oppress our opponent so much where they just kind of give up hope and scoop. And the good thing is this card is like super easy to side out if you need to. This is also another card you could probably cut down to 1 or even cut entirely. I've noticed people do, they just cut this card entirely and then you could probably end up fitting Gammas in the main deck too. So again, use your creativity, use your personal preference, it's totally up to you. And then we just play the 3 Nadir Servant because it's literally like a +5 on its own. If you open this with like, you know, Gazelle or just any Salamangreat combo, this card becomes really absurd. Onto the traps, we play the 1 Rage and the 1 Roar because, well, you can run more if you want to play a heavier control version, if you just kind of want to, you know, hard draw some of the traps, but truth be told, I don't think it's necessary because most times you can just search them anyway, so it's totally up to you though. I was playing 2-2 at one stage, but because deck space is so tight now with Dogmaticas, I just feel like, you know, this is just how it has to be, unfortunately. Dogmatika Punishment could quite easily be one of the best traps in the game because not only does it pop a card, it also sends a card from your extra deck to the graveyard, which theoretically could mean you could set Intus and pop 2 cards. It does lock you out of your extra deck for 2 turns, unlike most Dogmatika cards, but I don't know, if you're far enough ahead, it shouldn't really make a difference. And then the 1 Shaddoll Schism. I've seen only a couple deck profiles on YouTube, or not even YouTube really, just on Facebook, and no one's really playing Schism in the Dogmatika build, which I don't understand why, because if you're committing to the Dogmatika combos, you should absolutely be playing this because it's a free search. Okay, onto the extra deck. This is pretty standard stuff here for the most part. We play 3 Banelinks because, yeah, it's a must. It literally protects all your monsters. The 3 infinitely reprinted Sunlight Wolf. I'm glad it's Ultra now because as you guys may know, Ultra is my literal favorite rarity of all time. But yeah, this card's absurd. If they ever hit this card, this deck would probably die. So this is literally the heart and soul of the entire deck. We play the Update Jammer, Transcode Talker, and Access Code Talker package. Some people play the Splash Mage instead of this. I think they're interchangeable, to be honest. I prefer this because it'll let you attack twice, which literally turns Access Code Talker into a 1-card OTK. So it's up to you though. I think either is fine. Splash Mage is good, Update Jammer is good, you just pick, but you have to play Access Code Talker. This card's absolutely broken. Onto the fusions, we play the Up Cologne, the Construct, and the Winder. So the Shaddoll package, you play the Construct because on the odd occasion, it does come up where you can like summon it off the Schism, and your opponent has a light monster. You can literally pop their card for free. And another interesting thing is like some decks can't even out this thing because like even a Boral Sword can't out this. And if you stick to the end of the video, guys, I'll let you in a little secret. I'm gonna leave you a replay where I verse Steph with this deck, and he makes a Construct, and it took me a little while to out it, even with a Boral Sword on the field. But that was one of the best games I've ever had. So if you're interested to see how this deck functions, I would highly recommend staying till the end to watch that replay. We play the 1 Entus and the 1 Ash Dragon. These are just, you know, more copies to send off Maximus or off your punishment. Usually you send Entus off the punishment. Ash Dragon, you send off your generic combo because it lets you special the Ecclesia in the end phase and then search your Fleur-de-Lis. So that's basically why you play these. But they're both equally as useful, so you have to run both. Onto the XYZs. Now, before I show these, this, if you counted correctly, is a 16-card extra deck. Now, I'm finding it extremely hard to decide which of these 2 I prefer because they're both equally as good as each other. Abyss Dweller and Bagooska. Now, granted, I prefer Abyss Dweller because, like I said, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, this helps facilitate your combos without any kind of extra deck interruption on your opponent. When you use Maximus and they send like Entis or, you know, their own Titanic Lads, this helps you turn that off. But Bagooska is just generally good as a stall card, and if you look in the replay, I was playing these. I was actually not playing the access code talker in that replay, which means I had room for both, and this actually helped me out the construct. So yeah, it's just food for thought. Maybe you can cut the access code package. It's truly up to you, but I think they're both just as good as each other. So with that being said, guys, this deck is really powerful, and I don't know, mixing two of my favorite archetypes, it being like, well, even three really, Dogmatika, Shadows, and Salamangreats. I never thought I'd see the day. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it if you would, you know, share the video. If we can get like 1,000 likes on this, I'm joking, obviously, but if I can get like over 50 likes or something, that'd be pretty sweet. But yeah, other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stick around for the replay, because I think you'll really enjoy it. It was a really back and forth match, and I just thought, because I can't really show you combos, I mean I could, but it's pretty irrelevant because most combos really rely on your hand. So I thought, hey, let me just show you a replay of how the deck works, and I think you'll really enjoy the game anyway. So shout out to Steph for versing me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in another video that will probably also have Dogmatika, because like the last 4 deck profiles I've done have all had Dogmatika in them. But regardless, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.